Hey, Glen Park. This is Tara Colvin. I live in China. I teach English at a university, and I've lived there for the past 7 years. Um, in 2008, I was working at Sterling College in the middle of Kansas, and I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go to China or actually continue in a really difficult, hard relationship. And I wasn't sure what to do. I had been a part of a study. A study, we were watching a video, this group of ladies and and I had missed it, so I had borrowed the video, and I had watched most of it during a lunch break, but I had the last 15 minutes of the video to watch. And the speaker was talking about Moses. Moses was responsible for taking the Israelites out of Egypt, and he got them as far as the Red Sea, and they had no place to go. They couldn't cross, and what do you know? The Egyptians were coming. They were coming fast, and the Israelites were like, Moses, why did you bring us out here? Did you bring us out just to die in the desert? Why would you do that to us? Maybe we should go back. And Moses is like, no, we need to stay. We're going to stay right here. And God said to Moses, no, you need to move on. He said, take your staff and put it in the water and move on. Let's get moving. And for whatever reason, those words, move on, just kind of echoed inside my mind and in my heart. And so much so, I decided to watch the last 15 minutes of that video again. And the same message, Tara, it's time to move on. I have something better for you. Not with this stale, miserable relationship, but beyond the Pacific in China. And so this guy, this really terrible situation, he called right after the DVD was over. I'm not kidding. And I just said, hey, I'm moving to China. And that was it. The conversation lasted maybe 5 minutes, and that was it. I said goodbye. And this amazing peace and assurance just flooded my soul, and joy and excitement at what God was about to do. I didn't know much about China at the time, just that there were people there to teach English to and to build relationships with and share light with. And I was so excited. So it's 7 years later, and this past spring, I now live in Beijing, and I was told that I was going to have to move my apartment. I have moved every year for the past 6 years to a different apartment, a different city, a different team, and my heart is weary. It's tired of moving boxes and moving companies and trying to figure it all out. I'm just tired, and I didn't think I could handle one more move. So I sat there. I was just a terrible person to be around. I was not very happy. And I had what I would call a come to Jesus meeting. I had a lot of those. And I was sitting there with the Lord and just going, Lord, I just don't really want to move again. Are you telling me to go home? Is it time to just go back home and be comfortable once again? Because this is just not easy. And God, he was just speaking to my heart, and he said, okay, you're not going to do it for team, but will you do it for me? And of course, I'm like, of course, Lord, I love you. Of course, I'll do it for you. I'll do anything for you. And so, what do you know? I moved again. And in faith and hoping that I don't have to move again for a while, I threw away all my boxes. I have no more moving boxes in my house. There's not a single one. And I'm really hoping that maybe stops all the moving. At that time, I was thinking back to a time when I was 16 and I was at a camp. And there was this song, this beautiful song that went with the verses that you can find in Luke, where Jesus says, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will save it." And this song, it kind of goes like this. At all cost I will take up my cross and follow you till I die. At all cost I will make your name be known, for I want the world to know why. And if ever I fall, disgrace your name. If ever I lose my way, at all costs bring me back to serve you again, for I want you at all cost. So that was a little song that I started singing to myself as I thought about having to move again and the very dear cost it takes to sometimes follow him and move to places and be with people that are not necessarily your own. But I can say more often than not that he's totally worth it. And he's totally worth the cost of following and obeying. And I am so excited about what the next year has in store, because I am completely and totally in love with my Savior. And I can't wait to see what he has in store for me next.